Before I moved over, somebody said, the problem seems worse in the United States than other places. Okay, if I had to guess, I think that there is a bad phenomenon that happens. I've talked about this before. I haven't written anything about this yet. I'll add this sometime, okay? I think that there are times when you can have ideological congruency. So your ideas are basically the same as somebody else's. I think that this needs to adjust based on the size or locality of your group. So for instance, I would expect in a household there to be a very, 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 very high level of ideological congruency. Probably similar religion, similar many shared values, similar nationality, support for a country, similar language, similar political idea. Like for the most part, I would expect there to be a really, really high level of congruency in a particular household. I would expect there to be a very high level of congruency in a particular neighborhood, a pretty high level of congruency in a city, a pretty high level of congruency in a state, less, probably a lot less at that point, and then some level of congruency on the country. I think that the values that you have, they should become more particularized and with higher conviction the more local you get. So maybe for like the United States, maybe we have as a shared value between all US citizens, something like a support for democracy, right? And like the Constitution, I guess, maybe. Jesus fucking Christ. And then some tolerance of like different types of people or ideas or whatever. These are like broadly speaking, these are like very broad American ideas. Maybe like in a particular state, maybe you have some shared values around like some kind of cultural things. Maybe like most people in California like surfing or something. I don't fucking know. Or like as a Californian, maybe you feel proud about your agriculture or tech sector or something. I don't know. Maybe to get to a particular city, maybe you've got a strong feeling about like, oh, well, I'm in San Francisco. It's probably a sanctuary city, right? Maybe you feel strongly about like immigration. Maybe you feel strongly about like weed or marijuana. As you get to your particular neighborhood, maybe you guys like feel strongly about like, I don't know, block parties. I'm just being random shit. And maybe in your household, you feel very strongly about you like Che Guevara and Mao and Stalin or some shit, whatever. You're tankies. I don't know, right? I think that the issue that we've run into today is all of these circles that you have in the past were based on real locality in like the actual real world, right? I'm next to my neighbors. I'm next to my family. I live with them. They're my family. I see my neighbors every day. I drive to work and I'm with my coworkers or my labor union people, or I see my church community every day. I read the paper. I see what's going on in my city, my state, and then eventually the country. But I think the issue that's happened right now is there's a weird perversion where people are growing this center circle so much because of the internet that now people are expecting an ideological congruency that you would have only seen in households. They're expecting that to expand like across the entire country. Like this circle has become so large for people. And the problem is you're trying to incorporate so many different types of people, so many different ethnic groups, so many different cultural groups, so many different religions, so many different people. You're trying to incorporate all of them into this circle, and it's like fucking people's minds up. And somebody said it seems worse in the US. My guess is going to be just because in the US, we're just a bigger country. I'd be curious for like India and China. I don't know what their internet looks like. If culturally, if they run into similar problems like this, or if they have other issues that are popping up. But I think that I think that the issue is that people are selecting for groups and then they expect this big ideological congruency amongst people that are nowhere near each other, right? Like if you might live in Los Angeles, California, and you might get upset because somebody in Arkansas doesn't agree with you on gay rights. And traditionally, that just would have never happened because these people aren't talking to each other. If you live in LA, you're not talking to, I don't even know what a single city in Arkansas. What's the capital of Arkansas? It's not Arkansas City, is it? Arkansas capital. Oh, Little Rock. Okay. People in Little Rock aren't usually writing letters or telegrams to people in San Francisco or LA, right? So you wouldn't expect that level of congruency. But now you do because of the internet. I think the internet is just fucking up a lot of shit. And in the US especially, because it's such a huge country with so many different people that are all on like the same internet, I think. Yeah. Does that apply to interrelationships though? Do you expect most couple to share strong political value and most persons don't go in couple with people from different... I don't know what the fuck this sentence means. Does that apply to interrelationship, though, Do you expect most couple to share strong political value and most persons don't go in couple with people from different political view? Run that one through the translator like 2 or 3 more times, okay?